Elena. Asheville, North Carolina. Love Asheville. Okay. What does everyone think? Are we good to get started? Thumbs up. Okay. Well, my name is Breanne Grubb. I am from, ooh, hi. I'm from Sevierville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. We're the Smoky Mountain Market out here. I work for the Powerhouse Group with Savvy. So today we are going to talk about renovation ROI. Let me kind of put this off to the side. Where to spend and where to save. So, like I said, Breanne Grubb. I'm a savvy STR expert in the Smoky Mountain Market. We're going to be talking about the Smoky Mountain Market and the ROI for amenities. Here's our team. We have agents across the whole United States that can definitely help you in the investment world, and we're all very knowledgeable. If you are looking in any single market, we have someone covered. If not, we can find someone for you. So let's get started. So let me exit out of this. So today I'm going to talk about what's not just pretty and what is profitable. I meet with clients every single day, and when they're looking at cabins, we have the knowledge to help you be profitable in this market. And so, renovating your short term rental market isn't just about aesthetics. It's about how do we increase your bookings? How do we boost your nightly rentals? And how do we enhance your guest experience? So, guests remember how they felt, not just what they saw. A beautiful space catches attention, but an inclusive design keeps guests coming back. That feeling is what drives 5-star reviews and repeat bookings. You want your guests to have emotional connection to drive the bookings. So, drive. The design should create a vibe that aligns with your ideal guest dream trip. What does your market support and who are you trying to appeal to? The guest journey matters. So, renovation with experience in mind means walking in your guest shoes. A lot of people tell us when they are investing in the Smoky Mountain market, and I'm sure it's like this in every single market that short term rental agents, short term rental investors are looking at, is the market is saturated. It is so far from the truth. And that is because I see it every single day. There are so many listings right now in the Smoky Mountain market, but you look at them, they all look the same. There's nothing that is going to appeal to people who are booking than being different. I tell my clients all the time, and some listen, and the ones who listen are the ones who excel, and the ones who don't, then those are the ones who are selling after a couple years. And so we really want to have repeat customers. We want you guys to not only buy in our market, but to buy in other markets and to do well. And so with that, I'm going to tell you exactly like what do we need to do to make you stand out here. For example, I was looking at cabins this weekend for Father's Day for my family in the Smoky Mountain Market, and I'm looking, it's the same, the same, the same. It's a cabin. It's a cabin. I'm like, oh, wait, did I just look at that one? No, I didn't. It's a different cabin. Nothing is standing out. And so, yes, it could be a saturated market, but when you are doing the correct aesthetics, then no, it is not. There's so much room to improve here in the Smoky Mountains, and I'm sure everywhere else, that you just need the correct agent to help you and have knowledge to do that. And so, what I always tell people is the Smoky Mountain Market cabins are looking the same. It is a kid-centered area, so the amenities matter. Experience gets you booked and rebooked. People are looking at your cabin on Airbnb, VRBO, your own personal website. So what's making you stand out versus others? And that's how you're going to excel. So here with designer couch or double booking. So emotional upgrades. People come in, when you're buying a house, you're looking at, wow, I want the nicest chandelier, I want designer furniture, custom art, high-end light fixtures. When you're looking at a short-term rental, in order to succeed, you need to look at how is yours going to excel in this market. So, game room, themed kids rooms, indoor pools, hot tubs, functional sleeping space. So, expensive designer furniture doesn't create an experience in the Smoky Mountain market. No one is going to know whether you spent $10,000 on a couch or $2,500 on a couch. I'm not saying, hey, let's go buy cheap furniture. Yes, it still needs to look nice. It still needs to be comfy, but you do not need to spend $10,000 on a couch when you can get a couch for $3,000 that's similar. So, investing your money in the right spot is really key for this area. And I'm sure tons of other areas as well. Um, so, tell me, like, how is a chandelier going to keep guests coming back? So, I guess that's a huge thing. Designers for personal residences versus designers for short term rentals, that's going to be the huge difference. I deal with both. I see designers wanting to come into personal residences, and that's what they look at. You need to hire a designer who is short term rental based because they know what is needed and what is not. Um, so let's look over here. Oh, I'm going to go back here. So, what features deliver the best ROI for short term rentals? In my experience, game rooms. When the Smoky Mountain market is based on children, it's like the Las Vegas, but for children. Parents are booking their stay because we have Dollywood, we have golf, every mini golf, we have all these museums, we have aquariums. It's you're booking here because you're wanting to take your children. So you need to have pools, hot tubs, functional sleeping space, themed kid rooms. So with all of that, I guess what I'm saying is when I meet with my clients and we go into cabins, I'm not looking at a cabin as, hey, this cabin is ready to go. It is ready to go. Let's start making money. That is very slim here in this area because a lot of the cabins look the same. So, what I tell my clients is, hey, look at this blank canvas. Here's what we can do in this area. This property is listed for this. The Powerhouse Group, is known for let's get you some credits to get you some money into the house in order to have renovation funds. We walk in, it's okay, look at this room. This can be, let's put bunk beds in this room. We can do a mural wall. Let's walk outside. There's not a lot of space in the yard space, I guess, here in the Smoky Mountains because we are in the mountains. So with that being said, we come up with other ideas to boost amenities. Game rooms. It's not cheap, but it's a lot better to put your money instead of $10,000 couch. Then let's put it into some games. I know in my instance, it's the moms, sometimes the dad's looking for rentals to come to the area and they're wanting to make sure their kids are out of their hair. Hey, is this place a place that my kids can have fun? They're not going to be bored. They have something to do. We're going to want to come back. Otherwise, we will just stay home. Like there's no point to have your kids bored and take them on vacation. It is the worst. I have 3 kids. It is not fun. So I'm like, okay, do they have a fun place to sleep? Do they have something that's going to keep them busy? We're in the mountains. We have some phone service, but what else can they do? Fun themed kids rooms. I will pay top price to make sure that my kids are happy and having fun on a vacation and out of my hair. The worst thing is them complaining. Same with indoor pools. If you have indoor pools, hot tub, you're gonna stay. They're gonna have it. You're gonna pick that over a cabin that doesn't. Because it gives you something to do. You're paying a high price for a property. You might as well have something that's functional. Sleeping space, same thing. Like me as an adult with my husband, I am wanting to find a place king bed with my husband, but then also get them out of my hair. Let's get some bunk beds. Do they have friends coming? Great. There's multiple bunk beds in there. That is going to be a game changer. So let's kind of go over today's takeaways. So, um, why do some upgrades not improve returns? So expensive furniture, like I stated before. I'm not saying, like I said, you need to go into the market and it needs to look appealing. You need to be able to walk in, it needs to look appealing. You don't need to buy tons of expense. No one's going to know. No one is going to know if your couch is name brand, if the art on the wall is from someone who, $10,000 for an art on the wall. This isn't the market. You really need to look at what does your market support. And we want guests coming back. And so, what delivers the best ROI for investments here in the area? Game rooms, experiences, pools, hot tub, functional sleeping space, themed kids' rooms. How to avoid costly renovation mistakes. You need a realtor or someone on your side who has the local knowledge. You need to have smart investment decisions. Do not renovate based on personal taste. No one is booking the property to buy it for their personal residence. You need to renovate it on guests' needs for what they're there for. Vegas is completely different than the Smoky Mountain Market. Fort Lauderdale is completely different than the Smoky Mountain Market. So you need to decide what market you're going to be in and what needs the guests are expecting. So every market is completely different with that. And you really need someone who's going to explain that. I had a guest over the weekend. I had a client over the weekend come, and it was the same thing. We walked into a property and we sat outside a cabin for 45 minutes because we were really talking about what does this property have that's going to make them excel in this market. When they were looking at other properties to compare it to, they agreed everything looked the same. So how can they be different? What can they do that's going to make them guests keep coming back? And so that was something that we walked around. I told them little things. I mean, these properties aren't huge. There's not a lot of land space. And so let's see. So how do we find the data market we are researching? So you really need to so if you find an area that you really like, I would get in contact with one of our agents through Savvy and they can help you with the data in the markets. And with that, they're going to tell you because you can research all day long, but unless you have someone on your side that's going to tell you, hey, I see this every single day, do not repeat these mistakes, then you could get caught up into the mistake. So having someone with experience and professional in the market is really going to help you. Just like those people who came to town, they're buying in another market as well right now. It is completely different. And with me and some of the other powerhouse group in my team, we see, oh my gosh, tons of cabins a month just with showings. And so it's easy for us to be like, hey, this wall, let's add a mural for this wall. Let's add a game room here. People don't think about that because they're going into a property for a couple minutes and they don't see this all the time. So you want to create that experience. And so I would definitely get in touch with someone at Savvy and kind of see like who can help you in that aspect because we really are trained based on the area and the experience. And so we can definitely help you in all markets. I'm just speaking on experience in my market. And so if you're interested in the Smoky Mountains, Powerhouse Group is who you contact. But let's look at, so yes, not just pretty, profitable, creating an experience. And do not, when you are looking at renovating, also really listen to your real estate agent on who to use. I have had so many people reach out to other contractors who they heard about and don't have experience with. And so that's where it gets costly as well. Um, you want to trust that your real estate agent is going to have all the key elements that you need for being a successful short-term rental investor. So that's something that I would really focus on. Um, are your guests families? Are they honeymooners? Bachelor groups? You need to renovate with the experience in mind, like bunk beds for families. If you're looking at a couples retreat, cozy nooks for couples. You're looking at a bachelorette getaway. You need to have Instagrammable touches for girls' trips. So it really depends on the market. You need to create an experience. And that's what I would say experience, experience, experience. That is the key factor to excelling because anybody can buy a property, anybody can turn around and list it on Airbnb. And so, what are you going to do to make sure everyone keeps coming back? Balancing style with profitability in the short term rental market. It's all about making smart, intentional design choices that attract bookings without draining your ROI. So, guests come for that cozy cabin in the Smoky Mountains, but they stay for comfort and style. You need to design photos with photos in mind. Guests decide to book based on photos alone. That's the only first touch that you have when looking at these websites. You don't need to over design every corner. You don't need to add murals to every single wall. You don't need to add games in every single room, but make your looks intentional. Don't chase trends, create atmosphere, and build a vibe. So make sure your design allows you to charge more per night. And will this design reduce my vacancy? Like talked about previously, buying couches, adding chandeliers. Yes, you want those to look good to go with the vibe. But your design is what really is going to be key. So, Smoky Mountains, let's go back to that. This is what I tell people when spending, would you rather spend $3,000 on a couch that no one is going to comment on, or a $3,000 table because you love it, you put it in your house? Or let's take that $3,000 and do a mural wall in the bunk room. The kids are going to be wowed. They're going to come to their parents. They're going to love it. The parents are going to be so excited that the kids love it. They're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. And you're going to have those comments. Those are going to be in the Airbnb, VRBO, your website comments when they leave reviews. And other parents are going to see that and then want to book the property because if someone else's kids love it, my kids may love it. So let's walk into a space. You're not going to live there. It's going to be a couple days, maybe a week, maybe more, depending on your market. And how can we give them the experience of a lifetime? We want returned guests. Let's get a pool table, arcade games, air hockey. The cheapest thing, if you don't have a ton of money to invest in some of these arcade games, pool table, do little things just to help out in that aspect. Board games. Go to the store, buy a bunch of board games. That is going to keep kids so happy instead of just sitting there. I hate when I go places and my kids are just on their phone. I'm like, get off your phone. There's, look at this, do this. So board games, that is a cheap alternative. Photo worthy accent walls. If you don't have the money to invest in murals, which the best thing that I've seen short-term rental markets are on, people take photos of them. It creates an atmosphere that's fun. Then look at those green walls that you see on Amazon. Do it yourself. Do something that reduce from something else to put towards something else, if that makes sense. You're only going to scrape by if you buy a property as is and it looks like all the others. You're not going to excel. You may for a little bit, but no one's going to be in the short-term rental investment market just to scrape by. You want to make money, right? So that is huge. Do something different, be different. Take the data from your market, find a agent who has experience in that market, and let's see how we can find this bland property and turn it into a property that you can make money on and potentially buy another property. Have 5-star reviews back to back to back over something that's simple that you can just add value to. Let's see. This is a huge thing that I see. Um, Custom wallpaper, as you can see, so something like in this photo, is this a nice prop? Is this nice? Yeah, great. It has pretty wallpaper. It looks like a great property. If I were to buy it for myself, if I want to live in it, buy it for myself. We're not in that type of market. We're short-term rentals. So what they could have done for this property to make it boost is take that wall. What does your data support in your market? Let's take this wall in the Smoky Mountains and let's add a mural that has mountains on it, that has some bears in the background. You could, something simple for the living room area. You could take this and put Dollywood signs around it and mini golf, make it fun, make it pop. So when they walk in, they say, wow, instead of like, oh, this is a cute living room. Luxury kitchen remodels and budget markets. When people are coming to cabins, are they looking at granite? Are they looking at high-end kitchens? They are not. Yes, it has to look appealing, but do not overspend in your kitchen just because it's something that you would like in your house. Over decorated or cluttered interiors. Same with that. You do not need a lot of junk in the property. More often than not, do I see people going to Hobby Lobby and buying all this clutter for their walls. I've seen the same painting, the same decor in so many of the same properties. I'm like, oh, hey, that's from Hobby Lobby. Do not do that. Simple is best. And the money you put into it, do it with intention. And overbuilding square footage doesn't sleep more. Same thing with the cluttering. You don't want to just throw a bunch of beds everywhere. Make it intentional. If you have a bigger room, let's add a couple big bunk beds, add some fun kid items in there. Do things with intention, not just so when guests walk in, they're like, wow, this is so tight. I don't feel like I can even have room. If a property sleeps 12 people, but there's not enough room for 12 people to actually enjoy the cabin, people aren't going to come back. So high upgrades, I know I've talked about this a million times in this presentation, but game rooms, extra sleeping areas, indoor pools, theme spaces, vibes, movie rooms. Picture your family in these properties, and that'll keep people coming back. So look at this room previously. You walk in, it's not bad, right? Like it's okay, cool. It's a little bedroom. That's fine. They ripped up the carpet. They ended up adding some paint and turn it into a game room. Now tell me, would you come? There's bunk beds on the right side, by the way. So perfect spot for kids. My kids would love it. I know a lot of other kids would. Would you rather throw your kids into this bedroom and be bored and bland, or walk into the bedroom on the right and see, wow, this is bunk beds. My kids can stay in here. They can play pool. They can have fun. Just little amounts of money put into properties can increase your occupancy. And this one by itself had 9,000 more in annual revenue just by changing this one room. Over customizing, hard to replicate if scaling. You don't want your property to be so out of tune from everything else in the market that it just doesn't match. Things in Nashville, stay in Nashville because it's bachelor, it's bachelorette, something like that here in the Smoky Mountains may not do as well. And so you want to customize it for the area, but don't go too crazy because it has to be able to fit everyday clients coming in and booking, not just like a one time, maybe someone will book it because they have a random bachelor trip. It's just not the market for that. Um, Ignoring what comps are offering. You need to look at what other properties are offering and see what you can do better, not just what they're offering. Let's see what you can do to increase your revenue. Focus on personal taste versus guest demand. Not everyone is coming to stay at a place that looks like a house. You want the guest demand. Let's look at people are coming here to have fun. They're going to Dollywood. They're looking at everything that is going to be appealing. Let's have fun. My kids want to have fun. Let's put that into the property. And then forgetting to future proof maintenance. You just want to make sure that the money you're putting in is intentional and that you are not wasting money on things and that it's something that you can maintain and excel at for the future. Style versus profitability. You can have both if you're smart. Stick to durable finishes with visual appeal. It doesn't have to cost a ton of money. Let's just make the visual appeal have people coming back, I guess you can say. Choose a core that's easy to clean or replace. You don't want something so expensive that if something happens, it is going to cost you a ton of money out of pocket. These aren't people's homes. They're coming in. It's not their items. As much as does it matter how expensive your property is? It is not their items. They will not treat it like it's their items. Aim for vibe over valuables. Create a vibe. Create something that people are going to want to continue to come back to. And think through wear and tear, especially with families and pets. Just again, these are not people's personal residences. They will not care for your items as much as you do. And so you want something that's going to be durable and people coming in and out. I know it was a lot of information, kind of replaying some of the same things with what to expect, especially in the Smoky Mountain market. Does anyone have any questions on, amenities and things that they can do to boost ROI? Well, if you do have any questions and you are interested in the Smoky Mountain market or interested in getting in any markets, reach out to one of your savvy agents, reach out to someone that is local to your area. They can definitely help you out, they can help you excel. I always tell people we know this market better than anybody else, and we want you to be returning customers. We want you to buy multiple properties in the area and all over the United States. We want you to succeed. We're not a one and done client base. And that is it. So if you're looking at the Smoky Mountains, reach out to the Powerhouse Group. We're with Savvy. We would love to help you out. We would love to help you excel. And we would love to get you the perfect investment and see what we can do for you. Okay. Can you think of amenities you see over and over that you think are a waste of money? Um, to be honest, I don't see a lot of amenities in the Smoky Mountains at all. It's more of something that we're trying to have our clients do. We walk into cabins and there's nothing. There's maybe a pool table. I would say if you're looking at amenities, make the best spot, make it fit your space. There's nothing like over cluttering. But no, like it is crazy to think the Smoky Mountains hasn't had, it is up and coming. We haven't been a short-term rental market, but it's really boomed the last couple of years. And so No, there's not a lot. People just want to buy a property and turn around and wonder why it's not making money. Anything is better than nothing. Buy board games, put in some games, interactive games, do any of that. But no, I do not see anything over and over that's a waste of money because I don't see much at all. It's going into properties. It's a very blank slate here. So that's why I would say it's not oversaturated. Smoky Mountains is not oversaturated. It is just getting ready to boom because there's so much you can do to make your property be what you want it to be and to get that ROI that you're wanting, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's crazy. Walking into cabins, I'm like so surprised every single time. And even my clients this weekend were like, I feel like I'm walking into the same cabin over and over and over again. It's so much. There's so much we can do here to help you make some good money. There is room for investors. Come on, investors, we can help you. Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay, well, I am going to get off the call if we don't have any other questions. I will put my information in the chat if anyone is interested in the Smoky Mountains. Um, we have a great team here. We're the powerhouse group for a reason. And I will put my phone number. Reach out to me if you have any questions after this and you are wanting to get involved in the Smoky Mountain market, maybe not yet, maybe have some questions on it. You're looking at what are the potentials. There's all different price points. You don't need a ton of money when renovating in this area. We can help you get seller credits. Let's get you some seller credits to do the items that you want to do in the property. And so it's less out of pocket for you. Almost every single deal we do, we get seller credit so that my clients can boost the property to their potential. But yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for coming on. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I put my number in the chat. Bye.